Here we go.
Check. Walk 54. Here we go. Out.
Here we go, 46. Hey, kill. Here we go, 26.
Prescott on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Prescott off play action. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, kill. 27.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards on the play, first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he gets it down to the 32.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Prescott to throw it. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Mason Foster. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw, Rivers. This one complete, right side to McDonald. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Rivers now. The tight end Jarwin with it out on the left side. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. On 1st and 10 is Counter. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Denora Cersei in on the stop. Tried to get the edge there. The defense just too quick to the ball.
That's what we call total team defense there. Can't get to the edge, no place to move it inside, and then allows everyone else to run to the ball and create a big-time tackle for no gain for the offense.
A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And that's caught by Beasley. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Counter. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Set, 180.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. DJ Reader there on the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
He's crashing. He's checking ground.
On 2nd and 12, Rivers. On the left side, it's McDonald. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. On 3rd down, it's Counter. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
A gain of 3. It's 4th down.
Now it's Chris Boswell on for the field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And the kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Here we go, line in.
Like my boy.
Here we go, go to 54, go to 54, line in.
54, right? Set. 54, watch the run. Watch the run.
26.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Now, after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Mason Foster came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Out of the pistol, it's Bell. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. A big play that time on the catch and run. 41 yards. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. In on the stop, Mason Foster, who was 7th in the NFL in tackles a year ago. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, it's Snell. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
Flush to his right. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Well, he's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the 2nd quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision. Let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
They start with a give to counter, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Bucs on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And this one caught by Beasley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Rivers. Screen pass to Connor. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Rivers to throw this time. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Cole Beasley, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs have taken the lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll make this a 6-point game. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Buccaneers have it. He gained really good yardage. That's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards.
Let's face it, the focus is going to be, at the end of this play, on the big-time gain, right? He lined up on the left and worked his way all the way to the right before the perfect pass found it. But how about the offensive line and the protection to give him enough time to work his way all the way across the field?
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd down and goal. Rivers, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Nelson Aguilar as the first half is winding down. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 17-3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Preston Smith in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Third quarter starts with a run from Connor. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Again, a run with Connor. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 12 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And he finds Beasley complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
380.
Right back to Connor here on 1st. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That's what I'm talking about.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On second down, it's Connor, and he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. The Bucs on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They find some open field here. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. James Conner. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Boswell good with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Right there, 54 Mike.
Here we go.
Check. Lucky.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And we always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. James Conner, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll increase their lead to 28. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 19-yard line.
Hey, there we go. 54. Mike. Then we're going to 53. 26.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Oh, Prescott stripped. But fortunately, a Panther was able to get on this, so Carolina keeps the ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. Welcome back now here in London. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, Guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. They'll run it with Bell. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
To throw again on second down. Prescott. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defensive coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
He's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's third down. The Bucs on third down. They've been excellent. 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing Rivers. Aguilar has it. A great pickup there. 35 yards. And obviously the first down to go along with it. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 23-yard line.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Bucs on third down. They've been outstanding. 7 first downs and 8 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Now Tannehill. Left side, caught by Matthews. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Buccaneers, first down. 1st and goal at the 9-yard
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But it looks like a Buccaneer was able to corral it. Yes, the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay keeps the possession. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Tannehill going to throw it. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DeNoris Searcy. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 3-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Bell. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Preston Smith. And, boy, that means this next drive is going to start at the 3-yard line. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Christian Kirksey leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what